Yeah. Sometimes
Back.
when I rewatch our streams, because for some reason I'm actually sometimes watch our
Giving
streams.
giving us those sweet views.
Well, it,
Uh,
it feels like an egocentric thing to do, but
well, but you're also hopefully getting something out of it, so you know what we should change. Are you saying we need to change the intro?
so here's the deal about that intro. We should probably have some sort of like a heads up for people that the stream will start in a while, like a countdown, like
Yeah.
because what Twitch does is that they send out a
Oh,
notification,
right. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, everything I've read is kind of like, you got to have a schedule, basically. You got to have a stream schedule. And
yeah,
right now we don't because we're
no,
just sort of ad hocing it,
and it's also a bit hard because uh, it's summertime and we need to
Yeah,
uh, yeah,
yeah.
right. So an intro, a schedule, uh, and also since we're using Restream,
Hmm.
there seems to be uh, a bit of a delay, and I don't know where we actually start. And for some
Mm.
reason, when I look I'm actually looking at the stream on another computer,
Yeah.
but my OBS is saying that we're offline on Twitch, which is like really weird.
Mm.
Um, so I'm just
Mm.
gonna update
Mm.
this. I don't know if that's no. Now we're online actually. Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
just
so here we are. All right. Sorry about that, but that's the way this cookie crumbles. Sometimes we need
yes.
to talk about things. Let's let's do yeah, let's do a design sprint, right? Or a
Yeah.
design
I mean,
session. No,
I
it's not a design sprint.
think in the interest of transparency, we delayed this until we could delay it no longer, and we worked on some small features like protected routes, some very easy data fetching and displaying, and
Mm.
a teeny tiny bit of styling, just to kind of get going.
Mm.
I would say, but ultimately, even if we're agile and not doing waterfall or whatever it's called, um, some features should probably be determined for our MVP,
Yep.
and that's what we'll do now, I
Yep.
guess.
Yep. Yep.
So if you remember, and this is as much as a reminder for me as well, is that when we started talking about this, the whole idea was pair up programmers with artists, uh, and that's pretty much it. And so we envisaged that artists would create projects on our web application. And then programmers would browse through them and click on the ones they wanted to help out with, and then the people would be put in touch with one another.
Right. Right.
I
So
think
so so so,
that's
so
it.
there's beauty in simplicity always. That's
Mm.
my I love it. That's my melody. You
Yeah,
have somebody that needs something. In this case, are they want to do something, and they're borderline. They're approaching their competence level, right? So I don't know how to do web development, right? I'm an artist. I can
yeah,
create. I'm a creative person, but I don't know web dev. So I want to connect to somebody that knows web development and to help them out. Now, um, and from the developer's perspective, he wants something to work on, like a real project, right? Okay, so my question: freebies or paid work? What are we talking about here? Are we talking open source and contributions, or are we talking
cool.
proprietary work and kaching?
For now, I mean,
Haha, I got you. That shuts you up.
both. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we version 2.0, sure, let them do some transactions on our platform. That sounds great. But
Because if we're talking money, then we talk complexity, complexity, right?
yeah, we're talking a lot of complexity. No, when we talked about this originally, we sort of just said these are going to be kind of portfolio stuffers for people breaking into the industry. I was thinking about our students, that a
Mm.
lot of them are doing career changes. And so I think there's an argument to be made for having it be free and having it be small,
Mm.
small projects that are beginner friendly, maybe
Mm.
ideally, and that kind of are low stakes
Mm.
because, you're not building the next healthcare.gov,
Yeah.
you're probably going to make a website that, you know, I don't know, like an art project. Like, let's say you made a website which was a which had chat rooms, but each chat room could only have one person, so you're always screaming into the void. Something a little clever internet-based art. Um, the, that if there's a bug, no one dies.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so with all that in mind, I'm sort of like, well, then have it be free. You get paid in exposure. No, you get paid in putting something on your resume that is deployed and live and different and
Mm.
sets you aside and apart from the other applicants for whatever job you're trying to get.
Mm.
So I would say let's not do payment
Mm. Okay.
unless
So let's put that aside. Let's put it.
yeah.
But before we move on, should we try to uh, yeah, let's open up um, the project, right,
Yeah.
on GitHub. Do you want to go on and document a little bit? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
All right.
I actually I have it open already,
Okay, good.
so here it is.
All right.
Um,
So for our viewers, me and Max are working on an open source project, and if you're following our in the discussion, we have this very basic idea to connect two group of people with each other, project-based voluntary work. That's what we kind of agreed upon right now. And I know that people who are watching these streams, they are interested in technology. So let's just recap. We're building a React client, and we are considering, but we haven't really made up our choice or our mind yet, but we are considering Python-based API, and the choice of framework lies somewhere in between Django and Fast API. These are the two ones that we kind of narrowed it down to, right? And
yeah,
Django REST
yeah.
framework, right? Yeah, okay. Uh, Now we're using GitHub projects for documentation, and that is an open project, right? It's not um, we haven't made it private, right? It's an
I
open.
don't think so. I think it's open. Yeah.
And is that
Right.
under Craft Academy Labs or Craft Academy?
It's Craft Academy.
Okay,
Um,
right. Okay, so I will actually link to that.
yeah, yeah. Public
Just
project. It's
yeah.
public and visible to anyone.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, sorry. I just wanted to give people a little bit of a heads up. And if you want to know more about what we're doing and when we're doing is, just hit us up on YouTube. Just follow our channel. In Twitch, you can, I guess, follow us. I don't know how you do that on Twitch, to be honest. Yeah, you follow us. Right. Sorry. Let's move on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we chose to do issue tracking, pull request tracking on GitHub projects, and which we have traditionally used Pivotal Tracker before. So we're kind of you're going to hear a lot of comparisons to Pivotal Tracker as we go through this, and I think I'm about to make one right now, which is like, how do I make an epic? How do I do something?
I don't think you do epics. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't think you do
yeah.
epics.
I don't think so either.
Which is yeah. I don't think you do.
All right. So let's then recap. We have two groups of people. One of those groups creates projects on the page, and the other one clicks on one and is put in touch with the person. So in terms of adding some features down on paper, I mean, I'm not a big fan of trying to wireframe things. I think we should just build it. But I could be convinced otherwise if you feel strongly.
I do
Um,
not.
no, no.
I do not feel strongly about that. I am actually. Um, I see wireframing like a big waste of time. I like
Yeah,
lo-fi's. If we can sketch things up, right? And
yeah,
we can actually do it in this project. But let's see if there's a need for lo-fi's, or sketches. Let's
yeah.
try to describe as much as possible with words and user stories, and then if we need to have some visuals, we can add lo-fi's.
All right. So I will go ahead and just start spewing some things out in the backlog, Icebox, what have you, and then we can talk about them. And I think the first one that comes to mind, of course, is that, and now I will distinguish between artist and um, programmer or developer. I said let's say developer.
Yeah.
By in the titles. So I'll
Yeah.
say artist. Artist can create project.
Are you typing anything?
My
Oh, there
what?
it is. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
down
down on the
below.
bottom there. Okay, I got it. I've still not used the UI.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So artist can create project, and then we want to say, and I don't really know how to word this, but developer can, I would just say, choose project, I guess. All of this is, of course, subject to change. But so artists can create a project, developer can choose a project. I guess visitor, we already have user can see a list of art projects, so that's fine. And with these two, I guess I can say user can register to create project. Does that make sense as a user story?
User can right.
User can register to choose project. And my logic there would be they're users, but they're not yet haven't expressed whether or not they want to use the site as the application as an artist or as a developer. And those are for.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
When we sign up users, are we gonna present them? This is actually a case where we should probably do a lo-fi. Are we gonna present them with a choice to sign up as an artist or as a developer? Do we have any, do you understand? Like, should we make a difference between a developer and an artist? Your thoughts on that?
Maybe we shouldn't, because at some point these lines are going to blur. It would feel almost silly to create an application in which you log in, you choose you're an artist, and now you can't express interest in working on a particular project that someone needs help with. Like if you're making web-based art, you may not be able to do rapid application development or whatever, or DevOps or all these things, but like you may have some technical ability. And so maybe we should more think of these users as, I don't know.
Well, okay, so let's see if I can. Actually, you know what? I can actually try to use my. Hey, I got this. Oh no.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
No, but the gadget is actually out of battery.
Fran wants one too, so I'm saving up. I'm saving up.
Yeah, I need to show people. So this is my latest gadget, the Remarkable.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it also says is out of
battery.
All right. Now the thing is that the battery is really really good, and it's but apparently not that good. So it run out of battery. All right. But having said that, I should be able to do this, right? Let me see if this works. Right. Yes. You see a piece of paper
Yep.
here, right?
Yep.
All right. Now I just have to find a pen. I have a pen. All right. So here's my thoughts. Let's see if this is upside down or not. So if this is, let's remove that. Never used this camera before. All right. So if this is the screen, right? Dot dot dot. So this is the. So you have to look at it this way, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, but I have to draw it this way. Can I flip this? Hold on a second. Actually, you know what? I'm no
Yeah,
that.
I'm
This
sure
is.
there must be an option in
Yeah.
OBS.
Let's have a look. Dock camera, and can I flip it? On rotera. Yeah. There we go. Right.
There, yeah, nicely done.
Yeah. Software, huh? What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Okay,
incredible.
so let's say that we just so I think that we should ask for the bare minimum of information from a user
Yeah.
when we sign them up. So I would say I'm not even sure that we should ask them for the name. Perhaps it's enough if we just ask them for an email, email and password, right? And pass conf, right? Confirmation, right? So these would be 3 fields. But as a user experience, perhaps we should ask them at this stage, my profile or my I'm an artist, like a checkbox. You understand? Not
Yeah.
radio buttons, but checkboxes.
Yeah.
Artist, and or developer.
Yeah. We can make a nice little slider toggle thing.
And just tell them you can choose both. You understand, right? Because, or perhaps this is not even necessary. Perhaps we should just allow them to sign up. But my the way I'm thinking about this is that by asking them, are you an artist, are you a developer, you're kind of preparing them for what what they will be able to do and so on, or so. But or perhaps that is boxing people in too much. I don't know.
Well, it could just, the only effect it could have is, how we, in the visual layout, how the hierarchy we give to like creating a project versus seeing the lists of projects, flipping through them, so on the next page, you could have 2 different displays, one for the people who have expressed more artist than developer, vice versa, but that they would have access to the same functionalities. It's just a visual thing.
Right. Yes, because what should happen once they well, first of all, I believe that we should have some sort of a welcome page where we kind of sell in the idea of the app, right? Like some sort of intro, to the domain, or some sort of functionality, right? Like I don't know, big hero image is popular with some sort of text and perhaps a call to action, something like that. I don't know. I don't want to be, do everything like everybody else is doing. But I'm, big hero images are very popular, but we should definitely get people to sign up or view listing of projects or get inspired. I don't know. The way the application is structured right now, which is just an embryo and it's a pre-prototype, that is it shows the display of projects immediately without actually telling the user what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. So I guess we need some sort of a landing page and some sort of call to actions to sign up for that, but for the application. But the user needs to know why they are supposed to sign up, right? Because they need to know
Yeah.
more about the benefits of the application itself. But anyway, without it feels like I'm drifting away. The question on the table is: should we or should we not ask immediately? Are you an artist? Are you a developer? Or are you both? Just that.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think?
I think we ask. Because I think it gives a notion that it gives the notion of what the application aims to do, to achieve. And so, we get a little bit of a freebie there in terms of educating the user.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think we need to, well, do we need to decide, if we do that, do we need to decide right now what the difference should be in the actual?
No.
Okay, good. So then we're okay. I say we ask them.
The only thing it changes for us is that if we allow them to check off both boxes on our user model on the back end, we need to add an attribute that is called roles, just that. And the roles needs to be either an array of roles or an association, and a user has many right? User has many roles, and and the roles would have a name or type designation or whatever. Do you understand?
I mean, like an enumerator, or
yeah.
Because if we do an enum, we could just have 0, 1, and 2, and 2 could be both.
I know, but that boxes us in a bit. We could use an enum. I am 1 or 0 is artist, 1 is developer, 3 is both, right? But I am not 100% convinced that that's the best way to do this. I would probably vote for an association, do you understand?
Yeah.
And then we can base that on so here's the thing also, in Rails, which is a framework that we are both used to, enums have a very broad set of functionality out of the box, right? It gives us the ability to filter through. It's like a scope and all of that stuff, and then we can switch images and roles very fast and so on. The question is, if we get that functionality, if we have that functionality in Fast API or Django REST framework, not sure, don't know. So that could also be has an impact on what we want to do, I guess. But without that's a discussion for later, because we're feature creeping a little bit.
Well,
I would say that we can ask for that, and we can tell them, select if you're a developer or an artist. You can also be both. We can tell them that immediately. All right. So how can we transform this into a user story?
Well, we can, if I choose one of these, and I'm gonna that up. Yes. That's okay. Let's say user can register to create project. So yeah, I can say as a user, in order to find projects, let me do this. As a developer, in order to find projects, I want to I want to work on.
Mm.
I would like to. Well, this is tricky, right? I would like to, because the developer doesn't want to register the account. They just want to. They just want to see a list of projects, don't they?
Yeah. Not to find. Okay. As a
Well,
developer,
okay. So here, I would like to see. I would like to see a list of projects after registering.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna say no to that.
Okay.
Here's my idea.
Well, what's
As a
a better
developer,
wording?
in order to be able to join a project,
Mm,
I would like to be able. I would like to, uh, you know, create an account, because then we connect the ability to join a project to being a registered user. Just so, I'm looking at the at the list of collection of projects, and I can't even, according to what we've already built, I can't even click read more, right? At this stage, you can't see the details of the project.
yeah.
But I want to join it, so perhaps we should actually show them the details. So what would be the harm of showing the details of a project to an unregistered user? I can't see
I can't see the harm either.
right. It's the
I,
ability to join a project that should be restricted.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I like that notion of joining, and maybe then we can have some functionality in which the creator of the project can see who's joined on their page only.
That could be a good feature.
That could be
That
nice.
your project led to new signups, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's transparent. I
yeah.
like that.
I'm just
Yeah.
doing the artist side here, which is as an artist, in order to have developers join. Well, sorry.
Well, rather
In order to create.
to be able to create projects to hunt
Yeah.
for developers, so I can hunt for developers. I'll need to do that.
So I can attract developers. So I can. Sorry, I just have to check my phone for a second. Right. As an artist, in order to get a project, so I can get developer help maybe. I would like to be able to create an account. So I don't love this, but it's okay. Yeah.
And
I'll split
we
these up
could
in a
potentially,
second.
now that you've added two of them,
Yeah.
we could add we could have another user story from the platform operator's perspective, right? Because there are some business values for the operator of the platform to know who's doing what.
Yeah.
For instance, the feature that you just mentioned, which is could broaden the scope a little bit, so we have to think about it. But in order to know, who's using my platform, but also when they decide to register, or to gather some analytics about
Yeah.
popularity of the projects, I would like them to sign
Yeah.
up or
To
something
know
like
how
that.
the platform is used is what I
Yeah,
wrote here. I mean,
that's
kind of
broad enough.
encapsulates.
I like that.
So they would like to, see some.
To have people sign up, to have
Like,
people create accounts.
counts.
It's fairly broad.
No, I get it. That's good. That's good. Foolish. This one is the user can register to create a project. So what I'll do is I'll extract this, update this comment, head over to, that didn't save. Okay, now it's saved. Developer can choose, user can register to choose. So I'll do this one, and we'll change this to join, because join is much nicer than choose. and update that user story there, update the title. User can register to join project. Okay, and then this platform admin, I think we'll extract that as well, and we'll say, what will we say? We'll say admin can manage platform, maybe. Add the user story there so that we don't lose it. Right. And we don't yet have a user story for the artist creating the project. But that's kind of, well, yeah, we'll just put it beneath. So as an artist, in order to I feel like I'm duplicating it here. Track developers to my project. I would like to be able to create
a project.
Yeah, create a project. Because then this would come, well, I guess it doesn't actually matter on the front end which we tackle first here, because we can just programmatically set that the user is registered. And then the developer choosing the project, we also didn't make a user story for that. So let's do a little user story here. As a, I want to call this joins as well. Project. And then as a developer, in order to
find something worthy of my attention. No.
In order to find an interesting project.
Yeah.
No.
To commit to our project, because we are already past finding, aren't we? We already have the index and the show action, so we want to commit to joining a project, right?
I mean, that's a little circular, but yeah. They would like to be able to join. Basically, that's not too difficult.
Not Shakespeare.
Okay. So we have developer can join a project, artist can create project. User can register. So this is kind of in order to create project. User can register in order to join project, and admin can manage platform, which is a little bit broader, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I would put in the tasks for a user story like this, but I guess what this would have, but it could be the welcome page, basically.
You can manage platform. The platform,
because you could read this as like, if you're the platform admin and you log in as admin, or if there's a separate admin client to see all the users that have registered, like that's one potential interpretation. But maybe we should be clear, or we should be clear that what we're hoping for here is
okay. Now I see what you did. Now, because I asked you to add this one when I thought that you will keep it in that particular story.
I see.
Just because sometimes stories or features could have user stories from multiple perspectives. Do you understand? So this is not a. This is more of.
Then let me.
Yeah,
let me put it back then, and we'll delete this one from the project.
Can we do that? Can we delete stuff?
We can delete these
until we converted them to issues, right?
Yes. Well, I don't know.
No, neither do I.
But we'll have a look. But anyway, so that one I think is for the register stories, basically. Boom. User can register to create project, and we can also say user can register to join a project. like so. That looks fine. Yeah, so there are delete and archive options, at least here. But we'll experiment once we've converted to oh, well, no, I have the delete option on the ones that are done as well. So, okay. Bon. Okay. These are things that are nice to have, but come later. Put that there. So now on top of our backlog, we have the developer can join a project, artist can create a project, user can register to create project, user can register to join project. These, based on our conversation just now, we basically have 4 features, which
it's a good
I
start.
hope is a good start, and also they have business value. Even if we're building a platform that is open source and free and happy-go-lucky, they have value towards the goal of the project.
Absolutely. So what I'm thinking is, we said that you can't build epics, and that's true. But
what you can do,
you can add tags, right? Can't you add tags?
No, well, you can add here. Look, I just opened the developer can join a project, and here I can add priority, but also size. And so I guess an epic could be just defined as something that's extra large.
Well, or before we do that, it's not a bad idea. But I think if you convert it to an issue, which we still need to do because we need to assign it to a specific repo, right?
Yeah.
I think then we get a little more.
All right, so let me try that. I'm going to do that right now. Choose Art Nouveau.
Right.
Okay.
And now we have.
Now we have milestones. We have size and priority. We have a linked pull request, which we didn't like.
Labels. Labels, because you can assign, you can create your own labels.
Yeah.
And you said add labels, but perhaps you should go over. Let's see. Head over to the repository itself.
Yeah.
Because I think we can edit labels there, which is should be able to do it from here, but
Okay. Well, let's open this up in a new tab. Let's head over to our Nouveau, which now, of course, has a new issue. And so, right, label.
Do we have labels? Yes.
We do have labels here. Yeah, we'll hit the cog.
And what if you just say user manage? Just say user _ management.
Right, I can create new ones.
Yay! And I think you can do it from that as well. If you would have started to type it.
From here, let's see, add labels.
No.
Oh, how fascinating. Fascinating.
That's fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because these other labels, I mean, they're, they're sort of the GitHub standards.
Yeah, I know, but you should be able to remove them, in my opinion.
Yeah. This is developer can join a project. Do you think we should give it a particular label?
Just call it project management.
All right.
I wonder if you need to use Pascal case.
Oh my dear. Maybe I should use Pascal case. So let me go out of that.
Or even perhaps you can have spaces. I don't know.
Project management. Yes, I can.
Okay.
Right. I can give it a description. I can give it a different color.
Yeah.
Looks cool. Oof.
Yeah.
No.
Well.
All right. Purple is nice.
Yeah, I love purple. I love purple.
So let's save that and see. Right. What happened now? Okay.
But the question is if we can sort you on those labels later. But that's a different story, I guess.
Yeah. So now it has the project management. I've added the project management label. Let's head over here. And this is updating, but it didn't.
Well,
Right, let me close it. All right, now, so that doesn't appear to be working like we think it does.
it does not.
It does not. I'm
So the
curious about
labels,
milestones,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Little bit of Googling to be done. In the meantime, we can say, hey, create a project. I convert this to an issue in site art Nouveau.
And it should have this project management because this is also project management in my opinion.
Yeah, so I open
But
up
we
the
don't
issues
see
here.
it.
Now there's two. Oh, it's annoying. I don't see the label here in the actual repo.
No, I do. Well, hold on
You
a sec.
do?
Look,
Yeah,
so I'm on the artist can create project,
yeah,
and if I go labels, I see project
yeah,
management.
yeah. No, okay, yeah. So save that, and
Right.
it should say, yeah, you added one.
And look at
But
this
I,
now on the main listing.
oh, nice.
Apart from me using the light mode, but you can live with that.
That's your choice.
That's my choice.
Good stuff. But why? I guess like when I'm in this view of issues in so now I can see project management. Oh, I removed it accidentally. Well, that would be why.
Oh.
Okay. I wonder how I did that.
Okay.
All right, now you have project management.
Oh, nice. Now I see it on my side as well that you
Yeah,
added that to.
excellent. Okay, so that works. All is forgiven.
Hey, looky. Now if you click on the project management on the backlog, then it filters through that.
Nice. It's filtering. That's
Right, and you can
great.
remove that
Okay,
filter. Right. Awesome.
very
That's not
nice.
bad.
Very
That's not bad.
nice.
We can live
Okay,
with that.
I like. Cool. I mean, even if this is user authentication, it's also project management. Can we do both?
I would actually change that to add another label called user management, and you
Yeah.
can use user management and project management because
So let me
it kind of
just
spans
convert.
over two of them, right?
Yeah,
We're making progress, folks.
we are making progress. Reload this. We should have 4 now. So sorry, I was spacing out. You were suggesting for the labels.
User management and project management for this one, because we say user can register to join project, right?
So I save that. And now, oh, I can go in here and edit labels too, apparently.
Oh,
But
well, then you
that's,
can remove them.
and look, yeah, and look, milestones is a thing that's available here too. Use milestones to create a collection of issues and pull requests for a particular release or project.
Boom. That's
That's
epics.
nice.
That's epics for us.
Yeah, I'll create one just to see, and I'll call it project management. Ooh, you can put an optional due date, but I'll just create this now and see.
Okay, so
So
in that case, milestones are
because yeah,
okay. So it's not used for domain, so for the part of the application, but rather, MVP, first release, second release. That's what it's about, I guess.
I
Which is
guess
not a
so.
bad thing for us because what we could do is that we
Yeah,
can brainstorm about a lot of ideas, and then we say, let's include that in the first release or in the MVP, or let's put this off to a second release or whatever. Do you understand? So we can
yeah,
use labels for, Epic like, grouping features into certain topics, right? And giving them a
yeah,
label, and then we can use milestones um, for some other stuff, which means, but you can delete the, like, well, we can keep bug. We will have bugs, folks. But we
We
can
will have
delete some
bugs.
other stuff, right? Like
Right. Will we have
documentation could be
documentation?
useful. Duplicate, I would remove that. Enhancement, we're not gonna use probably.
Probably not. We can always add them back in, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remove the
Good
good
first
issue.
issue is not really what we're doing here. That's not
No.
the point. Same for help wanted. Invalid.
No.
No. I like that we can get straight to the
Yep.
issues and pull requests through just a click of a link here.
Yep.
Question, just ask. Don't need to open something. And won't fix.
No, no, no.
No, we will fix everything. Okay, cool. So let's head back to issues though, because I didn't actually give it these labels. So let's give it project management and user management. That work? Yeah. Go back to issues, do the same here and say, hey, you are project management and user management. Good. And now I'm curious, how can I get to the milestones? Because I just want to see if I can throw in. Okay, if I go here and I edit this MVP, no. So is it that when I'm in issues, do I have to manually, or can I assign them all to? Oh, here we go. So put it in the MVP.
Yeah, where did you see this milestone setting?
So I basically saw it when I went in to the individual issue and I see milestones under project.
No, but this, you had this view where you can delete the labels and then the milestones. Where was that?
Good question. Head over here, there. So
where?
If you are in, how do we get here?
There we go. Okay. So it's on the repository.
Yeah, but okay, yes. So if you're in issues, you have next to the filter labels and milestones, and then you can click through to labels and toggle over to milestones.
Now
I've said milestones so much, the meaning of the word is starting to kind of fade away a little bit for me. But I want to see, can I do that?
I'm going to create one that is called chore.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. Okay, so we're starting to.
So just a thing here. This means since we are adding those labels on the repository, this means that when we start to work on our API, we will have to add labels on the API repo. It's not project general. I mean, do you understand? Like,
I understand. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a shortcoming the way I look at it.
It would be really cool if in the project view we could actually create
labels and milestones.
Labels, and that they could then populate the different repos. But okay. Neato. I mean, we've sort of done what we set out to do. You know, we have.
So what do we have? User can register. Right. User can register to join project. Others can create a project. Can join. Right. User can register to join project. Right. There are a little. Right. Yeah. Well. Okay. So here's the deal. I got it. So we can actually add some to-dos now. The way I look at it, because we have 4 of them, right? So user can register to create project. That would give him the ability to create a project, right? But in the consequent user story, that's where we actually create a project.
Yes.
So we don't create a user interface like a form or anything in this story.
No.
But in the next one, right?
that is how I would interpret this as well. Yeah.
Right. So, right. There is this. So GitHub flavored Markdown has checkboxes.
Yes, they do. Right. It's like this, and you do an X. So let me just check.
No, that wasn't that.
I wonder if I have to do a checkboxes. Google is our friend, except I'm using start page.
It's a dash and an empty array.
Let's see, dash.
And a space between.
It's sort of
the empty one. It needs to be a. No. Def.
Do I need a? No, that was automatic.
No, that's not it.
Checkboxes, gists, works and works too. So, what did I do?
Yeah, exactly. You did that. But perhaps it needs to be in a table.
You think so?
Could be. But I'm not sure.
Wait, did anyone else? Did I spell checkboxes wrong? Checkboxed. How strange.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, let's see.
Let's see it in raw. Huh. Well.
Oh gosh, are we really gonna get stuck on this?
Let's not. Let's just do a list for now.
Yeah.
Because this would be this is the basically create account form. Call to API with the payload, and then respond. API response handling, including error handling, and then redirect user successful authentication. Wow. Okay. Are you editing this as well, or am I just clicking the button too much?
Hold on a second. I'm sorry about that. I'm just gonna cancel away from this. Right. Yeah, just update comment now.
I have to refresh the page.
Yeah, I copied the
Yeah. I did.
Okay.
Boom.
I was playing around with, because I play around. All right, just hold on. Hold your horses there. Now. Now right, I'm gonna edit this really quickly. Okay.
Just it's doubled, but that's okay.
Sorry. Let's see if this will help us in any way. This is actually perhaps an overkill. I think a bullet list is totally okay the way you did it. Now, in just a second, you will be able to refresh your page. There you go. Now you can refresh.
Hey, look at that.
Right. And now, if you just hold your horses for a second again,
Yep.
if we just try to do this, no, this doesn't work. You look because if I try to do this now, update now.
Wait, switch.
No,
Oh yeah.
this doesn't work. I don't know why. Is it because it has a, let's say,
Is it something weird like an M dash instead of a dash?
I don't
That
know.
would be pure evil.
Yeah, I removed it now, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't see that happen. It needs to be according to a Stack Overflow issue. You need to you because you can inject HTML, right? So apparently it works with ul li dash thingy, but it sucks. No, that's not what we want.
Task list. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, forget about this. Let's just do this.
Let me just get rid of the duplication here. Boom, boom,
Gotcha.
boom. Okay. Create the account form, call to the API response handling, redirect user after successful authentication. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
should we mention storing user in application state? Should we
So
mention?
this one is user can register to create an account for call to an IP response handling event. User. No. That's okay.
Okay.
The API side will be the API side. The way I see
This
it.
is, yeah. And this is going to be extremely
Painful. Yeah.
painful. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be painful because we haven't really decided on our back end yet.
No.
And it's one thing, we've done a lot of stuff with device token auth. Probably we will not write the authentication handler by hand. We will rely on something.
It's gonna be painful, my friend. It's gonna be
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But pain is what drives innovation. Right?
Is it? I hope not. But
Well, there are different schools about that. Let's not get too philosophical, but you know what they say: war drives innovation.
yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
The technological advances, etc. To dos. I mean, for register to join project, it's the same deal. So maybe these are duplicates, but let's just leave
I'm
that
gonna
for
let
now.
you update this. I'm just gonna mute myself for a really quick while, and
Okay.
I'll be right back. Okay.
Right. I'll keep going. So here we'll do artists can create a project, right? So in this case, instead of calls to API, we basically need, well, actually, it's very similar. It is create project form. Live in a component. We will call. I can even say instead of call, let's be more specific and do post request to API. We'll need also some API response handling, including error handling. And do we need to redirect the user after successful authentication? No, because he's not authenticating. The user is authenticated already. So after successful form submission. Okay. So nothing too advanced there. We just create a form, fill out the form, send off the post request, get the response, do some error handling, and resolve the action somehow, either by putting the user somewhere else, what have you. I like that. Let's go to developer can join a project. This one is interesting. This one is interesting because here we'll basically need kind of a join button, we'll just call it join button. But how do we call the API now? We should probably send off a put request, right? So let's do a put request to the API because we want to update the project in the database with a new association or associated user. And then we want to, of course, wait for the API response and then redirect user after successful joining a project is fine, but maybe we also need to do one more thing, which would be, what? We may want to update project in application state. I'll discuss this with Thomas when he's back, but basically update project in application state with new associated user. Good, because I just mentioned you. Let's save this one. Let's look at the artist can create a project first. Okay, the steps I put in there, the tasks is, basically have a project form, which right now, doesn't mention images or anything. It's just very simple. It sends off a post request to the API. It then handles the API response with some provisions for error handling. And then it should resolve probably by redirecting the user after successful form submission, not mentioning to whether it's a view of the project itself, which makes most sense to me, or all the projects. That can be up for debate. But this one, developer can join a project. We basically need a join button on projects. That should probably be a put request to the existing project. So that put request probably in some params or something.
May I pause you just for a second?
Yeah, please.
The join button could be a dummy button with no functionality included in the previous story where he signs up. That is testable. Do you understand? I am not signed up. I don't see the join button. I am signed up. I see the join button. Do you understand? Even though the button doesn't do anything yet.
Yeah. I like it. So let's redirect user of successful authentication, and I could say
display join button.
Display join button with each
perhaps
project.
Join in quotes or something. I don't know.
Do it code style.
Yeah.
Okay, and then maybe similarly in our project here, user can register to create project. We can say
create
exactly
project button, right?
Create.
And whoever is watching us on Twitch or YouTube, feel free to ask questions if you have any questions about this project or the way we are talking about these things. And you probably see the flow. We try to define a user story first, and then some sort of to-dos, which is also known as acceptance criteria. When these to-dos are finished, done, then the feature is actually done. That's in Agile, we talk about the definition of done as a concept, and so that's what we try to follow here. And in this discussion between me and Max, you can see that we make decisions and then we talk about it, and sometimes the decisions lose in validity after a while if you add some other stuff, and that's okay. That's why you shouldn't rush these things. If you're in too much of a hurry, you generally make perhaps not bad decisions, but decisions that are not really, can I say valid? I don't know. I don't know. You make, saying bad decisions is too harsh in my opinion, right? But you have to think things through.
Yeah. But at the same time, not be afraid of,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
trying things out.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's also a takeaway. Very important that you mention it, because it's better to make decisions and move forward and regret them than not to make decisions at all and just be in a standstill, right? In Agile, some part of rework will always be present, right? And after a while, you get a sense of it in this just enough upfront design that you try to make or address questions that you can manage and foresee. And as soon as you go into this gray zone of shit, I don't know, or there's so much unknowns, then you should just leave it be. Do you understand? Right? Just don't do it. Try to work your way through stuff. New horizons will open. You gain new insights, and then the questions that were very hard to answer just a day or 2 days or a week before becomes very easy to answer because you moved up your position. And I don't know if this makes sense. It's a little abstract, but that's what my experience tells me in this feature design phase. How you should handle things. Right. Sorry.
No, it's good stuff. Let's go back to the question I had for you, which is a little bit more granular, which is this this put request, right? So we don't need to create the join button, but we need to add join
functionality
like that. So the question is, we send off the put request, the API responds, we redirect whatever.
Yeah.
And then now I started writing things, and I'm sort of like, oh no, I'm racing away. This requires a million discussions, and oh dear. So
the last point you have there feels like a back-end stuff, right? So
yeah.
But what we can do on the front, because we're on the front end right now, just inform the user that he has joined this project. It's a flash or toast or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Joined the project. I think
while you're in edit mode on this one,
I
just to be on the safe side, I would say on the put request to API, just perhaps in parentheses, just add in a RESTful way so that we don't forget ourselves, because there's a danger in a point like this that somebody will add a specific route or think about this like join project route or something. A put request is an update action on the project, and we will guide the server's actions using parameters, right? In a RESTful way, you just you identify the project with a unique identifier, whether it's a slug or an ID, and you modify the behavior using params. So that's why I would like to just add in a RESTful way, so you don't create some custom routes that are unnecessary. This will become more evident when we actually work on that, but it's a put request to /project/identifier. Just wanted to add my 5 cents of careful consideration of how to do things.
And we'll also wrap our parameters correctly according to standards. Okay, this solves the problem. This is much more smaller and more manageable as a feature.
I have a question though. Let's say I'm an artist and I have created a project, and all of a sudden a guy or girl says, I want to join your project, right? So would that be like, when you as a developer, when you create when you click join a project, are you expressing your desire to join a project and then you are being let in by the artist, or are you joining the project?
I think the latter to start with. If we the latter, because it's the simpler solution. The argument would be that it's such a simple thing. We're just putting two people in touch. You're not really doing much beyond that. No one's committing to anything. So therefore, the barrier to joining the project should be as small as possible.
Gotcha.
Because you're already asking the user to create accounts, create all these things. Like, you're asking a lot. Logging in is a lot these days, and so the rest should be very simple.
I buy that as a
it's not
general
just
idea.
laziness.
In perhaps later on, it depends a little bit. We have to validate that, of course, with some users if we get to that. But just to be a devil's advocate here, let's say that somebody joins the project and other people are discouraged from joining the project because it already has a developer. Do you understand? And then that developer turns out to be not doing any work, or that doesn't have the profile that is needed for the project or something like that. Not sure.
Yeah.
Which brings us to another story. Whether this is going to happen or not, should a developer have a profile where we add some attributes in terms of skills sets, like I know HTML, I know API development, yada yada, right, and so on. So let's these kind of questions are relevant for the future, but I think that at this stage we have 4 stories to work on that are definitely gonna help us to move forward in at least 1 or 2 streams, and then perhaps we can just reconvene in this way to make another design session, right? That's when we know more.
Mini sprint. Yeah, it's great.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So yeah. What else can we do today? Like, can we just review? Go one by one, just so we yeah. And perhaps we should add the size of each story. Which would be what we do, an equivalent to what we do in Pivotal Tracker in terms of complexity.
Voting. Yeah. Right. So then I'm back here in the project view, which is where we assign size, I'm guessing, and I'll start with the joining a project. Maybe. Yeah. Priority and size. I like that the urgent is a volcano erupting. But okay, for size. So this is the maybe we should do this one after we've created the join button. So let's say user can register to join a project, and our size options are extra large, large, medium, small, and tiny. Do you want me to tell you what I would vote on this?
Yeah,
if these were my options?
There's only 2 of us, right? So
yeah.
I think we can talk about this rather than actually
do a team vote.
Right.
Right. So here, creating the form, calling the API, response handling, redirecting the user, display it. So this conditional for the join button. The toughest thing here for me would be do we need to deal with how the token is stored? Is it a token? What kind of token? Are we using cookies or local storage? Um, do
I
we need to decide any of that for this feature?
I would argue
Yeah.
that the answer can be no. We do not have to deal with that. The only thing we need to deal with is to get a response with the user and just a true or false. You are, authenticated. And later on, when we deal with the backend side and we choose the method of authenticating, whether it's JVT or whatever token based solution,
Yeah.
then we readdress this um, um,
On the
yeah,
front end. Yeah.
on the front end side. However,
Okay.
what
Yeah.
user can register to join the project, right. However, I'm thinking whether we should add a function, because we will get a response back with the user, and there will be this array with roles, artist or developer. You understand? So I'm thinking about a function like current user dot is developer, and that should return true or false, right? Um, or user is developer and then passing current user. How we do it is perhaps not relevant at this stage, but we need to be able to answer that question, because then
Yeah.
we can base the whether we should or should not show the join project button or create project button for the artist. So in this case, if you are under user can register a project, I would say this is a very strict or detailed rather sorry detailed to do, but it's not. I don't see any harm in going into that. I would say, if you add the task list, add current user is developer, you know,
Uh,
functionality, and so you can format this as code probably with backticks.
yeah. Actually, that's a good idea. Uh, Developer.
Parentheses, right.
Yeah.
Or you can actually say uh, uh, before the word function, or and then new code and say capital user
Yeah.
dot is developer, and then pass in current user as an argument.
Uh,
Right. This is actually easier to do than the first one, because we will have a module called user, do you understand, or users, and then it's easier for us to pass in this current user, because if you want to chain or call a function on the current user, then you probably have to create a class or so it's a prototype or a class. So the latter is probably easier to do in JavaScript. But keep them both, and we decide
yeah.
upon that
We
later.
decide.
But
Well,
but but nonetheless, we need to have to be able to answer this question one way or another, you know.
yeah.
And this means that the same thing needs to be added to the artist. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right. So
Uh,
that they can do both. Right.
so this artist and user is artist. Update that. Okay. Well, with that in mind, um, I'm sort of leaning medium.
Yeah, I would
But I
go medium
guess,
too. I would go medium too.
yeah. well, then we are in agreement, and I can do that for this one too. Right. And then we also need to talk about the other two, which in my mind are probably easier as they're written right now.
Creative post request API, right? API.
Maybe add something of, inform the user that project was created.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a simple one in my opinion. It's a basic.
Yeah, I would put small on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they also
maybe
have
not
tiny, but no, small is okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go tiny. I would go
Yeah,
small.
no, small is good because we are making a network call. I mean, it's not just we'll need stubs and fixtures and lots of fun stuff. And I would say the same for this one, right? Okay, so here we have inform, so that's good, but small.
Yeah.
And did I remember to call create project form? Right, we do create the form because the button is separate.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should probably be some sort of a pop-up thing or some model or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which one should we tackle first? I mean, I'm not saying we should tackle it now, but we can drag one of these things into in progress, maybe. And,
I would.
One of these medium ones, no?
Yeah, the registration.
Yeah, I think
we whatever. Flip a coin.
Let's do this. Boom.
Yeah.
Because it was on top. All right. So we are locked and loaded and ready to go for.
Yeah. So we have a question. We have a question from Pierre that is following us on YouTube. Thank you for doing that. And the question is, what tech will you use to build it? You want to take this?
I mean, so we're gonna use React, and we're gonna do it test-driven development style. So, and for that we use Cypress, and so we'll write end-to-end acceptance tests to kind of mimic these user stories. We test first, and then we write the code. In terms of the stack beyond Cypress and React.
So for the front end, we can, generally speaking, use, we can just say that React ended the ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
Axios for network calls and React Router for internal routing and so on.
Redux for application state.
Absolutely. But if we talk about the backend, which has not been addressed yet, we haven't started thinking about the backend functionality, although the features that we're defining now, they will, have their equivalents on the backend side, right? We need to open up an endpoint to create users, open up an endpoint to create projects, and so on. We are considering a Python-based approach, and we are discussing Fast API, and we are also looking at the Django REST framework. We haven't made a choice yet, or have we?
Not really, no. Still up for debate. Input is most welcome.
Right. Yeah. We are Rails people.
Yeah. A little bit Node.js too, but we are Rails people. Yeah. So we've been spoiled, basically, is what Thomas is trying to say.
Yeah. And it would be so easy for us to go Rails. Easy. Yeah. Super.
Yeah.
But since we want to use this streaming business as an opportunity to learn new stuff, then we are considering Python because we are not Python people. I don't know, Pierre, if that answers your question, or if you have any thoughts about our choices. And if you do, fire away, brother. Fire away. And also, just to be, in terms of learning, we do struggle with the projects interface on GitHub. We usually use Pivotal Tracker. This is our first very we're taking baby steps on using projects on GitHub.
Yeah.
Pierre expresses a very enthusiastic approach to Rails.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So do we.
Right there with you. Right there with you.
Yeah. We love Rails too. I mean, I've just recently read a very critical tweet about Rails, about the ecosystems. I don't know, arrogance from time to time and all of that stuff. I'm not gonna link to it right now,
Good.
but for me, Rails means rapid application development. I am very productive, and I think I speak for you as well, Max.
Oh, you do, yeah, for sure.
Rails is beautiful, the way I look at it. There are better platforms, of course. People are talking about Rust, Elixir, all of that stuff. But perhaps I'm just an old guy and I can't be bothered to learn new things. Which is not true, because I'm just about to learn Python.
Yeah,
but
that's the whole point.
Yeah, no, but Rails is fucking awesome. Yeah,
sure is.
But Pierre also says that it's a good point. Learn new stuff is a good thing. So that's we got his approval, which is good.
Name of the game.
Right. Thank you for those messages. I hope you follow us on either YouTube or Twitch. This is being streamed to both these two platforms. We try to follow good practices as much as possible. Definitely breaking stuff up, defining scope, defining definition of done. We're agile people above everything else.
Yeah.
I think this is going to wrap up for us, right, Max?
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Or have we defined? Yeah, we did define the size of all of these four now, haven't we?
We sure have.
All right.
2 mediums and 2 smalls. No problem.
Good stuff. One of the last things I'm going to do, just so our YouTube users can follow along, is to go to GitHub Craft Academy and just link to this project, right? The Art Nouveau project. Here we are, and so this would be the project link if you want to tag along on that somehow, or it's open source. So all right.
Cool.
I'm not gonna post Dr. Banner meme,
absolute
but
win.
I do see this as an absolute win.
Yeah, and we'll be back.
We sure will. Will. I need to show you the new best thing in the world. Although I should probably not promote too much of alcohol stuff, but I just need to show you this.
Can earn that 18 plus. Ooh, look at that!
I recently bought this Blue Velvet gin, and so look what happens when I pour in some tonic water into it. It turns violet.
Nice.
Yeah. And it smells a little bit like cherry. So the glass is an old Lasse Åberg glass. It's a Swedish, I probably heard about him. He does some odd, but it doesn't really matter about that. And then we had another tonic. I was hoping this will turn green, but the yellow was too strong, so it turned yellow.
Okay.
Yeah. But for a brief second in the beginning, you can actually see that is a little greenish. Look, if you look there, it's green
there
for
it
just
is. Yeah. You just more gin, less.
Yeah, exactly. More. Yeah, half and half. Let's do half and half. That will probably. No, but
exactly.
But I'm not a great gin lover, but this one is actually extremely tasty.
Nice. Nice.
I
will come and sample it.
Never code while drunk, but once you've done with coding, a little bit of relaxation is not bad. It is summer after all, so
it is summer. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Max. I see you next time.